Set your internal clock to Fiji time, exploring the archipelago's exquisite beaches, undersea marvels, lush interiors and fascinating culture shouldn't be rushed. To help you plan when to go to Fiji, here's a month-by-month breakdown of what's happening across the country, and what kind of weather you can expect. Fijians celebrate a variety of holidays and festivals. Exact dates vary from year to year but are given in advance on the government's website. From surfing conditions to cheapest accommodation prices, here are the best times to visit Fiji. The best islands in Fiji with technicolor reefs, white sand beaches and forested interiors. Fiji has no shortage of pristine tropical islands. We run through some of the best. High season. June to September, December and January best time for those tied to school holidays. The high seasons coincide with the school holidays in Australia and New Zealand. Prices go up by 10% to 20%, costs peak in June and July. June and July are also the coolest, driest months, with pleasant temperatures. Shoulder season. May and October best time for milder temperatures. The shoulder season includes the Fijian winter, or dry season, May to October, bringing low rainfall, low humidity, milder temperatures and a lower risk of cyclones. Outside of high season you'll frequently find useful discounts and lower walk-in rates. Low season. November, February to April best time for budget travelers. November to April is Fiji wet season, with heavy rains and high humidity. There are fewer tourists in Fiji, and a greater chance of getting reduced rates on accommodation. January brings hot and wet weather to Fiji, and possibly cyclones too. Although temperatures rise above 86 degrees Fahrenheit, 30 degrees Celsius, at this time of year, Fiji's seasonal variations are not pronounced and this is only 41 degrees Fahrenheit, 5 degrees Celsius, above the yearly average. Humidity, however, will make it seem hotter. New Year's Day is celebrated with much fervor in Fiji, with some parts of the country having festivities the entire month. In Suva, the new year is welcomed in with fireworks and street parties. Key events. New Year's Day. February. Although only 10 to 15 cyclones strike Fiji each decade, usually between November and April, there is a greater risk of encountering one during February. Holi, also called Fagua locally, is celebrated by Hindu Indo-Fijians around this time by joyfully throwing colored powder at one another. Most celebrate it the day after the full moon in March. Key events. Holi. March. The wet season continues and this is usually Nadi's wettest month, with an average rainfall of 324 mm, and temperatures reaching a high of 88 degrees Fahrenheit, 31 degrees Celsius. The Hindu religious festival of Ram Navami is held in late March or early April, and you may see worshippers wade into the water at Suva Bay to throw flowers. Key events. Ram Navami, birth of Lord Rama. April. Heavier than average rains continue until mid-April, but by the end of the month, the wet season is officially over and humidity levels, thankfully, start to drop. Temperatures remain high though, at around 88 degrees Fahrenheit, 31 degrees Celsius. Key events. The Fijian Crosswalk, Easter. May. With the start of the dry season, water visibility increases and divers should enjoy excellent clarity from now until October. Fiji easterly and southeasterly trade winds become more persistent. Consistent southerly swells make May a great time to surf. The best surfing is at cloudbreak. This weather pattern keeps the breaks large until October. Key events. Ratu Sur Lala Sukuna Day. June. Pleasant temperatures, low humidity and fine days kick off Fiji peak tourist season. The trade winds that begin in May continue to provide perfect conditions for windsurfers and kiteboarders around Nananu-i-Ra. Favorable windsurfing conditions persist here well into July. Key events. National Sports Day. July is one of Fiji's coldest and driest months. The days are pleasant, around 75 degrees Fahrenheit, 24 degrees Celsius, and nighttime temperatures sink to around 64 degrees Fahrenheit, 18 degrees Celsius. Temperature-wise, this is an ideal time to visit, but it is high season so is likely to be busier and more expensive. The Beulah Festival, one of Fiji's biggest festivals, is a week-long party held in Nadi. Key events. Beulah Festival. August. Winter temperatures continue, and a light sweater will be needed during the cooler nights. Days remain warm and dry. Ocean temperatures reach their lowest monthly average but are entirely swimmable at 74 degrees Fahrenheit, 23 degrees Celsius. There are a couple of major festivals at this time too, the 9-day-long Hibiscus Festival, held in Suva, and the South Indian Firewalking Festival, sometimes held in July. Key events: Hibiscus Festival, South Indian Firewalking Festival. September. The reliably fine weather continues although Fiji peak tourist season begins to wind down. There are several major festivals in September, including the annual regatta, held at Muscat Cove Marina, that lures avid yachties and party people from around the world. Key events: Fiji Regatta Week, Sugar Festival, Friendly North Festival. October. The cooler dry season ends and temperatures begin to climb as the southern hemisphere moves towards its summer. There's a lot going on too. Week-long celebrations focus on the diversity of Fijian and Indo-Fijian cultures, culminating on Fiji Day, October 10th, which marks the country's independence from British colonial rule. Diwali, sometimes falling in November, is when Hindu families decorate their homes with lights and pray to Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth and prosperity. The Uprising Festival is a 12-hour marathon of music and performing arts timed to coincide with Diwali. Key events: Ram Leela, Play of Rama, Diwali, Festival of Lights, Fiji Week, Uprising Festival of Music, Dance and Lights. November. Fiji wet season starts in November and continues across summer until April. The mountains of Viti Levu and Vanua Levu create wet climatic zones on their windward, southeastern sides and dry climatic zones on their leeward, northwestern sides. This is the time to try a local delicacy. Blue, edible seaworms rise at midnight about a week after November's full moon. Many island communities celebrate the annual harvest with songs and feasts. Key events: Bololo Rising. December. The rainy season arrives in earnest, though travel is still entirely possible. Rain showers are usually heavy but brief and followed by steamy, sunny spells. 6 weeks of dancing and partying kick off on December 1st as Rotuman celebrate Fara, during which groups of performers visit villages and homes, entertaining their hosts. Key events: Fara, Your Paradise, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, New Year's Eve.